Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Invested Millennial here, also known as Curtis, and today I have a brand new video for you where I'm going to show you exactly what I do in order to look into how I choose my dividend stocks. But as of right now, what you can see is I have the my portfolio up. It hasn't changed much. I haven't invested into anything new yet, um, and we will be soon. We'll be putting some more money into the account, but we're going to hop right into the main idea of this video, and that is what I look for when I look into dividend investing. And so we're going to head over to seekingalpha.com, and it's a pretty simple strategy. Some might even say it's too simple, but if you've ever heard of KISS, the term KISS, it's called Keep It Simple Stupid. So KISS, Keep It Simple Stupid. It's something I use in everyday life, and people make things more complicated than they have to be. Of course, when it comes to investing, your capital is at risk, and you should be fairly knowledgeable of what you're looking at. You should, know how to read the balance sheets and the income statements and all that good stuff. But that stuff is, it's pretty well secondary to me. And I'm just going to show you what I mean. So I have a couple stocks I want to show you here. The first one is going to be Pepsi. No, we'll do it the other way first. No, we'll do Pepsi. So we're going to look at Pepsi, PEP, on seekingalpha.com. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to we'll hit max on the summary chart. So as you can see here, we have quite a bit of substantial growth over the years. Well, not quite a bit, a lot of substantial growth over the years. Like, it hasn't just plateaued somewhere, or even worse, lost value. Of course, it's down right now, but that's with this whole virus thing still kicking around, and the whole market's down, so kind of out of our control. But as you can see, there's been steady growth over the time of this stock being public. So that's the first sign that we're going to look for. It has constant growth each and every year. Obviously, some ups and downs, but overall, constant growth. And then we're going to click this dividends tab here. So here we are on the dividends tab, and there's a lot of important information here. The very first thing you're going to probably look at would be the dividend yield. So the dividend yield is 2.93%. I wouldn't buy anything really if it's not over 2%, because at that point you're technically not even keeping up with inflation. So if you're buying below 2%, it's really just not doing you a whole lot of good, in my opinion. I mean, it's better than a high interest savings account, but not doing you a whole lot of good. Annual payout 382, so that's not too bad, of course. The payout ratio, this is something that's pretty important. So I personally like to stay between, but definitely below 70%. If you're above 70%, that kind of is a trigger to me. It could mean that they're paying out too much money to their shareholders. So I try and stay below 70%. And that's just something I personally look at. I don't know what your strategy is, but again, that's just what I look for. Next is 5-year growth rate of 8.41%. This is a pretty big factor in my books. A lot of stocks are like 2% for the 5-year growth rate, and that's not very good. That's not showing me a lot of room for growth. Probably anything above 5% is what I'd be looking for. The next thing you're going to look for is the dividend growth. So it has grown and paid its dividend for 47 years. So that is really good to see. So that means they've been through some hardships, like economic issues, world issues, and they've pulled through and they've paid their dividends. So that's always good to see. Like, that's a really, really strong factor when it comes to me choosing which stocks I'm going to put my money into. And even if you click here and you see dividend, or you click dividend growth, right here it says the 10-year growth rate is about 7.89%, and the 5 years 8.41, 3 years 8.61, and within the last year 5.7% growth, which is really good to see. And if you click dividend history and you click all, here's what it's going to show you. It's going to show you each and every year, every single dividend it's paid, and how it's just constantly grown over the years. So when they started paying dividends back in 1989, they were paying 4 cents per share. And now in 2020, they are paying 95 cents per share. So that's a lot of growth. And as you can see, it's never dropped off. Like I say, they've continued to pay their dividends throughout history and economical issues. And it's just continued to grow with the rise of the market. And that's it, guys. That's all I look for when I'm looking for when I'm looking for stocks to invest in. I just try and keep it as simple as possible. So I'll get you an example of a not very good stock to, and there's one right there, Enbridge, GNB. I looked at it before and I was interested in it, but looking back at it now, it's not very sustainable in my opinion. So I'm going to hit max on the chart, and as you can see, guys, it has pretty much spiked up. And I will say, we'll even say 2014. It's just kind of plateaued in 2014. In fact, it's doing pretty bad. It's in a downtrend since 2014. So it looks like they're not doing as well as they had hoped. And so that's our first signal there. So next we're going to hit dividends just like the last time. And the dividend yield is 8%. Now that's a high dividend, but it's nice. So I probably wouldn't buy any stock that has more than 8% yield. Just it's too risky for me. The higher the dividend, the more likely they are of cutting that dividend, because it's not sustainable. And to back that up even more, so the payout ratio is 126%. So that means they are paying 126% of their revenue to shareholders, which isn't sustainable over time. It's just not. It doesn't make any, like, you're losing money by paying out your shareholders, right? So it's not sustainable at all. You're not in the business of making money to pay more than you're making out. That doesn't make any sense. Next, we have the 5-year growth rate is 0.84%. So it pretty much shows no growth in the stock itself, or in the dividend itself, I should say. And that's kind of what we're shooting for here. We want something that's going to continue to grow. The company is going to continue to pay us, and as well as paying us, they're going to grow the dividend yield and pay us. And the dividend growth here is only 2 years. So that means like that's nothing, right? Now, if you go over to dividend growth, as you can see, like for the last 10 years, it's up 10%, which looks nice. But you'll see how it's not good in the little bit here. In the 5-year growth rate, 0.84%. 3-year growth rate is negative 5.88, and the 1 year is up 6%. So that's really nothing that is impressive to me. If you hit dividend history and you click all, it's really stagnant. You see that? I mean, it does have some growth here, starting at 4 cents per share, and then you'll see these spikes. Like this was 32 cents per share this year, and then it drops down to 30 cents, 37 cents, all the way up to 38 cents, and then drops back down. So it's not reliable, guys. They're really inconsistent in how they're paying their dividends, and it's not something that I'd put my money into for the long term. Maybe if it was like short term, like really short term, less than a year, because I don't see this company going up any further from where it's at right now. Like there's no way it should be more than $40 in value, ever, in my opinion. So if you were to buy it, I'd buy it now and ride it up to maybe $30, $35 and get rid of it. But that's just how easy it is, guys. I don't overlook things. Obviously, the financial statements are important when it comes to investing, especially for long-term companies. But you've probably never even heard of this company, and if you have, it's probably because you're an investor. But everybody knows what Pepsi is, or like Coca-Cola, or AT&T. Things like those are all companies that have been in the game for a long time, and they have a very good reputation. So that's another thing to keep in mind, like a reputation of what the brand is. Like if you've never heard of Enbridge, then why would you invest in it, right? But if you drink Pepsi, you know who they are, you know that they're reliable and that they pay their dues, then it sounds like a great investment to me. And that's all it is, guys. That's all I do. It takes me, a couple of minutes to look into these companies and see where my money should be. Alright, so if you guys enjoyed the video, if it helped at all, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Go follow us on Instagram. Links are in the description. And again, guys, this was the Invested Millennial, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.